Last week I shared with you my cost-wise channeling poison soulrend build. I'm also promised I will try to push till Ubers. The results is amazing. What's up guys, Pidget here. Our skill choice is soulrend. You fire a projectile, this projectile have infinite pierce and can turn towards the enemy, so we don't have to exactly aim at the enemy. Because this spell is a chaos based, we can add to the mix poison and my favorite Ascendancy, Pathfinder. On bosses you need to play as self-cast, but when you just doing maps we will using cat's-wise channeling and our channeling skill is Cyclone. With all of this we got a really cool looking build in our hand, making extremely good build for mapping and for bossing. Cast-wise channeling doesn't care about breakpoints, attack speed or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. If you're using the awakened cast-wise channeling version, which is dirt cheap, you can cast 3.3 times in a second, making it extremely good for clear. It's so good, even if you only just looking on this build. We using Pathfinder because this Ascendancy is almost the best for a poison build, and while you channeling the Cyclone you have reduced movement speed. But with the Pathfinder Flask effect increase, we can get around pretty easily this penalty because using Quicksilver Flask, so we're zooming around pretty high movement speed. Also on boss fights we have insane recovery, sometimes we will not even know if we're standing in something bad. We can add a really cool thing to our build, Nimis. With this ring, things starts getting crazy. All the projectiles will be fired random direction. For exchange, they will return to us. This is where things gets hectic. Just look at this, so satisfying. And the most important, this ring will give us around 3-4 times damage on a single target because all the projectiles will return to us with firing 5 or 6 projectiles, depends you have the helm enchantment or not. Without this ring the build is still very good, but the single target is not amazing. For a maximum enjoyment you have to use this ring. You have to stand still near the boss, so when the projectiles return to you it will hit more times. This is why I'm casting in melee range. We can use 3 curses in our build, because using my favorite unique ring, Anathema, our curse limit is equal to our maximum power charges. Every character can have 3 power charges, so our curse limit is 3. Because we're using poison as the main source of damage, we can use Despair for lower the enemy chaos resistance and Temporal Chain for our poison lasts longer on the enemies. And you know me, my choice for the third curse is a defensive curse, Enfeeble, which is reducing the damage the enemy deal to us. I have bad news. Because you have to use the Crucible tree for soulrend, you are limited to a few weapons. This mod only rolls on a few weapon type. It has 2 versions. On one-handed weapon it will roll 2 extra projectiles, so you need a shield with the mod or use another weapon in the offhand, but your damage will much lower than the staff version, which is can roll +4 projectiles to soulrend and the staff can roll +3 to chaos spell skill gems. Alone this is hard to beat damage wise. Last time I told you the supply is very limited on the trade side, 2 or 4 available for sale. Since then the situation didn't change even a little, so if you want to give a try, start and hide staffs on your filter and try to make one for yourself. The base type didn't matter, any staff can roll the mod. Or if you really just want to try it out, use greater multiple projectiles, one of the green gem slot. Your damage will be lower, but at least you can see if you like the build or not. On the defensive side, let's start with my favorite part. We have elemental ailments immunity because we're using ancestral vision. Modifiers to chance to spell suppression. Damage also apply to chance to avoid elemental ailments and half of their value. The other best thing about this build, we almost converting all the physical damage taken to elemental damage using Lightning Coil, that alone 50%, a unique flask namely Taste of Fate, that 21%, because we have increased flask effect node allocated on the tree, 10% from our Watcher Eye because we're using Purity of Lighting, at least 14% from our helmet, so we almost reaching the 100%. If you spend a little more on the implicits on the helmet, you can reach that, but do not use while there is a unique enemy nearby because it doesn't work on Cirrus when he casting the Meteor. Because we take that many damage as elemental, we can use all the elemental damage reduction flask, Ruby, Topaz and the unique Sapphire Flask Taste of Hate, so reusing the damage we take from the physical damage that we convert into elemental damage. Using Petrified Blood. If you not use this aura before, this makes us unable to recover about 50% life without Life Flask, but for exchange we will stagger percentage of the damage we take and it will deal to us over 4 seconds. We have insane recovery from our Ascendancy because we taking Pathfinder, we can use the Master Surgeon node. That will make our Life Flask still active if our life reaching full, making it extremely good with the Petrified Blood. From our Life Flask, we get almost 2k life regen alone, and that is up all the time. This time I tried a new Flask setup. As you already maybe noticed, we using the replica Sword of the Divine for Eldritch Battery, so we can reserve all of our mana. Also the Life Flask will apply to Energy Shield as well, so we don't have to worry about running out the Energy Shield. But this comes with a really annoying thing for some. You have to press the Life Flask every 5 seconds or your Energy Shield will be depleted and your biggest defensive layer, the recovery, will be off. I would like if you hit the like button like the shaper hitting my character, so it can start spread to more people. Thank you! Few important things you need in the build. Because we're using Eldritch Battery, we need every possible Energy Shield that we can get, so you have to use Evasion and Energy Shield basis. Aim on your weapon, chaos damage over time multi, and +3 to all chaos spell skill gems. Also you need the Crucible mod, soulrend fires 4 additional projectiles. Using a few unique items in the build, Lightning Coil unique body armor, this is give us really big physical damage reduction. Nimis unique ring for the single target damage increase, and it looks really cool when you spinning around and all the cats returning to you. Anathema unique ring, with this ring we can use 3 curses. I crafted my amulet, broke the base with fractured chaos resistance mod and then reforged chaos with harvest, and I got this. We are anointing toxic strikes for the chance to poison. With this we can have 100% chance to poison. Flasks we using is a ruby, topaz, a unique flask, Taste of Hate, Quicksilver, and replica Sword of the Divine. All the flask needs this mod, gain free charge when you take a hit, and the flask enchantment use when full. The submods is the following: additional elemental resistance, reduced mana cost, and on the life flask, chains to avoid being stunned. You can get all of this mod from the betray mechanic when unveiling flask. When you doing invitations or bigger boss fights, switch the Quicksilver effects to life flask to get insane recovery. I just want to highlight a few things on the passive tree that you need for the build. Using 8 passive cluster jewel with Wicked Pole, Unwaveringly Evil, and Unholy Grace. 2 medium cluster with Flow of Life and Breathed for Potency. 2 unique jewel, a Watcher Eye with physical damage taken as lightning damage by affected by Purity of Lighting, Ancestral Vision, modifiers to chance to suppress spell damage also apply to chance to avoid elemental ailments and half of their value. The rare jewel mods is you looking for damage over time multi, life, and projectile speed. You need to get on every single one because the Crucible weapon tree is reducing the projectile speed, so we countering with this. Also, if you're not using the Enlighten level 4, you need to get a jewel with mana reservation efficiency, just like me. We taking Pathfinder as our Ascendancy. On your first lab, we take Nature Reprisal. I'm leveled with Toxic Rain, so this node was a game changer in the early acts. Second lab take Nature's Adrenaline. You now generating flash charges. Third lab, Master Surgeon. Your life flask is still active if your life is reaching full. Last lab, Master Toxicist for the Poison Prolife. Gem and Journey starting with our main link in our body armor, Soulrend, Cyclone, Awakened Cat's White Channeling, Awakened Unbound Elements, Empower, and for clear we using faster projectiles. And when you doing bigger boss fight, you swapping out these to Awakened Void Manipulation, Cyclone to Awakened Deadly Elements, Cast White Channeling to Spell Echo, or Curse setup in our gloves, Enfeeble, Despair, Temporal Chains, and we applying these 3 curses with Arcanist Brand. Divine Blessing setup in our boots, Inspiration, Divine Blessing, Haste. Aura setup in our weapon, Anomalous Petrified Blood, Malevolence, Purity of Lighting, Enlighten level 3, and Divergent Herald of Agony. In our helmet, Immortal Core level 3, Cast when damage taken level 3. Flame Dash as our movement skill, Anomalous Withering Step. I got a little tip for this skill. You can use this skill while channeling Cyclone, and you will not lose the Wither Aura, also you will go faster for the duration. But if you stop channeling Cyclone and using any other skill, it will deactivate the buff. I hope you enjoyed this video about soulrend Pathfinder. I would like to see you in Discord as well. We have a small but active community. Check the description for the link. Also, I would like to say thank you to my Patreons to still supporting me. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. I was Pidget. See you next time.